Welcome back to the 1989 U.S. Challenge. Mark Warburton is ahead of Drew DiStefano, 27.65 to 26.50. On the women's side, Cheryl Dundas is ahead of Jennifer Hagberg, 19.225 to 18.450, a difference of 0.775. The women have now moved to their third event, which is the balance beam. The men will vault.
Jim Sherrick is with us today. This is Cheryl Dundas.
Now, this is the event that makes or breaks a lot of gymnasts. You don't really get a chance to relax because just standing there, the opportunity to fall off exists. Cheryl Dundas is up first.
Oh, that's a very pretty mount. A round off onto the board and a one-handed back handspring on, right to a series back handspring layout. Beautiful start. She says this is her favorite event, and you can see why. She is excellent here. Very pretty switch leg split leap. Beautiful full turn. Look at the flexibility.
Needle scales are always associated with women's gymnastics. Again, showing her flexibility.
And strength. How about that? She planges down that handstand. Notice how she just takes her time and she looks for every position. She fulfills requirements like that, a series of gymnastic elements or leaps. Swing through layout right on, right to a split leap. That's a mixed series that the judges are looking for. Acro and gymnastic elements back to back. Back handspring, and a double full. Excellent routine for Cheryl Dundas.
A beautiful routine. Well, the balance beam certainly didn't break her.
Although she didn't really have a dynamic, explosive dismount, the back handsprings to the double full were fine, but the best part of the exercise was right here. That one-handed back handspring on was so pretty and so elegant. She got ready for the dismount, back handspring, step into a double full. She isn't quite as high as you see some of the gymnasts who perform the tuck double backs, but she handled it beautifully and nailed the landing.
And got a beautiful score, 9.825. And that ties a meet record. Brandy Johnson also received a 9.825 in show number 1 of the balance beam, so now she has been tied in the record department with Cheryl Dundas. Now Jennifer Hagberg hopes she has the same luck on the balance beam.
Well, she did a similar mount, a round off and a back handspring on. This time she used 2 hands in comparison with Cheryl, who used just a one-handed back handspring, flip-flop layout, and she fights it. So far, they've begun with similar acrobatic elements. There's a series of leaps. She sets up there for a layout. She overdoes that. She's really powerful. Most people just barely make those. She just blasted over the top and made it easily. Very pretty leap. And stag handstand down to a plunge. The judges need to see the gymnast working not only high above the beam, but also right down on the beam. There's her full turn. Whoa. Cartwheel, she had a little trouble on that cartwheel, and that's one of those simple elements that can get you every time. You can't give away points on the easy elements because you want to do your best to keep the exercise perfect, and if there's any room for errors, they're only on the most difficult elements. Here's this round off double full. Oh!
I've on her heels.
I don't know what happened there. It didn't look like she got a really good push off the beam when she punched, and that caused her to over-rotate. She laid it back a little too much. Let's see if we can see what happened. She does a round off. She really dumps it back, and she doesn't get quite the block and the push that she needed. And, of course, that caused the over-rotation. Once again, you can see here
She's crooked already coming off the beam, so
Yep.
she didn't get a good direct push off.
Twisted a little early and laid it back. This is a good part of the routine, though. She does round off, back handspring right on, and then she followed it up. Although she had to fight it, she followed it up with a nice series of back handspring to a layout.
What makes it exceptionally difficult is that Cheryl Dundas tied a meet record with a 9.825 on the balance beam. So now Jennifer Hagberg, who's already .775 behind her, receives a score of 8.80 for that beam routine, and now is more than a point behind Cheryl Dundas. The men are ready to vault. Drew DiStefano will vault first. In men's competition, only one vault is allowed. It's do or die time.
And it is University of Nebraska and Gold Cup Gymnastics, their two clubs.
1.15 separates Drew from Mark.
Sometimes I wish the guys could get 2 vaults because
I think they should. It's been a long time since they've had the opportunity to warm up.
So layout Tsukahara, one short hop on the landing. Pretty nice vault. See, but like the girls, when they do 2 vaults, they get to go do that one more time and hopefully stick the second one. Of course, I have to admit, the older I got, the more the ankles hurt, and 1 vault was plenty. So,
Although, interestingly enough, a lot of the vaults that we've seen today, it was the first vault that counted in the scores.
that's true, and I really feel that if you really just fire up and just give your best effort on the first one, perhaps the girls relax a little on the first one, knowing that they got 1 more to go.
I think it's a mental game, yes, knowing you've got a chance to make up for it. 9.15, the vaulting score for Drew.
We now move over to Drew's rival in this
Mark
bracket.
Warburton, he too will execute just 1 vault.
We saw him have trouble on his punching on the floor exercise. I expect he'll have trouble here as well because he's not fully recuperated from that ankle injury. Let's see what he does. Okay, a little trouble on the landing, and I'm sure that stung on that landing, but he did a laid-out Tsukahara.
He's on his back.
Grabbing his back. It's pretty good vault, actually. Pretty good position in the air, and he got plenty of rotation. In fact, he had trouble controlling the landing.
And the score is going up 9.0.
Not bad arch position in the layout. But this vault doesn't have the maximum level of difficulty that some of the twisting vaults do, so the score won't be that high.
9.0 is the score for Mark Warburton. He's still grimacing about his back, but he still has the lead.